Okay, everyone. Again, thank you for joining our webinar today. It's time for us to get started. So again, thank you for attending our webinar. This is regarding the new survey module. Today we'll be presenting the new feature enhancements regarding this new module. ResLink is proud to be the first in the industry to address this critical need in the supply chain risk management, and we're excited to bring this new model to our customers to kick off the new year. The new survey module allows our customers to create, launch, and manage supplier surveys right from their portal. So with that being said, we're very excited to share this new innovation, and we're glad you're here to understand the scope of these improvements and to answer any of the questions you may have. Some of the few key highlights that we'll be covering would be a new survey tracking progress interface, a collaborative messaging center between customers, partners, and the partner relations team. We'll be covering a little bit about the new ResLink survey library and launching surveys in 30+ global languages. Next screen, please. So before we get started, we're going to go over a couple of housekeeping notes. First, all attendees will be on mute. Slides will be sent after the meeting. The webinar will be recorded for future references. Please type in questions as they come up. If we miss any questions during the Q&A, they will be forwarded to your customer success managers and answered by them by the end of business day tomorrow. Alternatively, your customer success managers will be deep diving into these features with you and will be able to answer any other questions as well. So today's speakers, we have Sandeep Ramachandran. Sandeep is Senior Product Manager and Program Director of RiskGame. Sandeep is an expert in supply chain, and he's also the architect of the program director for the RiskGame, which is highly engaging, fun, and a collaborative workshop that simulates the functioning of a global multi-tier supply chain. We also have Dinkar Shelar, Customer Success Manager. Dinkar has been leading several high-tech customers towards becoming the best-in-class in supply chain resiliency and known for delivering strategic value-driven products here at ResLink. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Sandeep, who will begin the presentation.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Sophia, and welcome everybody to this call. I'm very excited to talk about the surveys today because I feel this is going to be a game changer in what we have been delivering and how the our customers and suppliers have been using our system. So what we have today, I think the agenda that we want to follow is we'll start with the new survey module, why the new survey module, go into some of the problem statements, start off with the problem statement, talk about the business values and drivers of using the survey module. Then I'll try to go over a very relevant use case before heading it or passing the ball to Dinkar, who will be walking us through the functionalities through the demo that we have through the slides. And towards the end, we will try to cover the Q&A, or if you have any questions, we will go over at the end of the session. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, perfect. As we all have in today's day and age, we have hundreds and thousands of suppliers in our supply chain. And what becomes very, very critical and important for us is to have the capabilities or understanding of all our supplier capabilities. What are their manufacturing capabilities? What are their cybersecurity capabilities, etc. And having all that information in one place so that our experts don't have to go and collect information or look into different systems, for instance, and start accessing all this information, merge things together to make a sense of what's going on in the supply chain. And this is not just in one focus area. This is in multiple focus areas that we need to collect this information. And what do I mean by focus area? This starts from let's say readiness to security to reputation, and this means maybe it's your supplier capacity capabilities and site information that you want to collect and understand what are the risks out there. Maybe on the strategic sourcing standpoint, what are the sourcing policies that you have for the different kinds of materials and products, and how your suppliers are supporting you on those fronts. Could be on the cyber side to CDPAT to reach, ROHAS to reputation to CSR. So all these different focuses and initiatives that you have in your supply chain and in your supply chain risk program, how do you collect all this information? How do you show all that information in one place so that you could take informed business decisions, which would ultimately save your time, your experts' time, so that they can focus more time on the mitigation activities rather than just the data collection. And as I was saying, it all starts with the availability of quality informed information and data. That's the crux and starting point to everything that we have, and the availability of all this in one place. And that's what we call, that's what we call as a 360-degree view of your supplier intelligence, which is all and every information available on your fingertips in one system. And that's what the survey module provides you, and how it empowers you in terms of collecting and managing your supply chain risk in a more effective manner. Next slide. Can you keep building? Perfect. So how does the survey module help you, and what are the business value? As I was saying, the survey module is a game changer because it starts with a 360-degree view of all your risk information in one system. And what do I mean by 360-degree view? We talked about the different kind of initiatives like the cyber capability, collecting your suppliers, CDPAT, or collecting your suppliers, let's say reach, ROHAS, compliance, quality information, and all that information in one place. So the survey capability or the survey module, the survey intelligence system, gives you that ability to quickly launch or configure any type of surveys on your own. It gives you a complete control of creating an assessment or selecting an assessment from an existing survey library that Resling experts have created. Once you create or launch an assessment, the ability to track the progress of your surveys across multiple different suppliers that you might have sent out, to collecting that information. And once you have all the information in one place, the system has that automated way of providing you insights, which will give you ample information to take informed decision. So the 360-degree view that the survey system provides ultimately helps you to take that well-informed actions, and ultimately it goes all the way to having that quicker, effective, efficient manner of managing all your information and risks in one place, and it helps in enhancing your ROI at the end of the day. The second thing, which is very, very important in this case, is that improved supplier sentiment. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes, when we launch multiple different surveys from all these initiatives that we were talking about, suppliers get overburdened because they have n number of customers asking different kinds of assessments to be completed. And what happens is surveys or assessments get passed on the supplier one after the other, and suppliers have to sit there and complete one after the other each time the request comes in. And with the improved the LinkedIn model that we have, or as we call the complete once, share multiple model, suppliers have the ability to now complete a survey once for a customer, and once they complete and submit it, the next time a same survey comes to the supplier, they have the ability to quickly approve this new customer, quickly approve this is the survey that they are looking for, and share the survey right away. So the supplier in this case doesn't have to sit there and from scratch complete the information. Rather, they have a quick way to share the information, which is complete once and share multiple times any kind of surveys that they have that they've already completed for a customer. And ultimately, this would help in that better enhanced relationships with you and your suppliers, so that the suppliers have a better sense of sharing more information in a faster, quicker manner for you. The third thing, which is very, very important, is the ability to seamlessly collaborate with your suppliers or maybe even internal team. When we launch an assessment, for instance, there might be several different commodity managers or internal buyers who might be having questions. You want to have conversations with them. You might have conversations with the suppliers today. It might be through emails that you might be sending it through. But what happens when one of your contact leaves the company? All that information gets lost. And through the survey system, what you have is now the ability to message seamlessly with your suppliers, internally, externally, so that all that information is available in one place, as I was saying. And at any point in time, you can come back and look at what kind of data, what kind of information has been passed along. It is not just a messaging piece we are talking about here. It also involves the ability to attach any documents, share the attachments across the teams, the ability to look back what's the history of information that has been changed within the system. For example, all the different activities that have been completed by your suppliers or your internal teams, having the ability to audit that information, the ability to also even log your chat information. For instance, if you have been having calls with your suppliers, you have the ability to even input that information in the survey context for that supplier, so that down the line you have again all the information. If you come back, you have all the information in one place. So right from ability to have that 360-degree view to improve your supplier sentiments to seamless collaboration, those are some of the biggest value drivers. One of the other big things here, which I think has been one of the big pain points that I've heard as well in the past, is with your supply chain all over the globe. At times, having the quality information, having relevant information becomes very, very important, and language can be a barrier. So with the survey module, what we are trying to do is break that language barrier, which is the ability to launch an assessment to more than 30 different languages. So let's take an example here. So if you are launching an assessment, let's say to your suppliers in the Asia region, and let's say Mandarin is a language that you prefer or your suppliers prefer to respond back because that is the language that they are more familiar with, they can easily provide that information in the language that they're interested or familiar with, and you have all that information collected, and you can decide to see or view in whichever language that you would like to see as well. So again, through the survey module, what we are trying to do is break the language barrier, and then you have that seamless ability to collect all the information, any kind of information, and have it available in one place as a centralized repository for accessing and assessing all the information. Next slide, please. So I talked a little bit about the ability to launch a survey, and again, my colleague Dinkar will give you a more detailed demo of this. But what I was mentioning here is the ability to create an assessment on your own. But at the same time, there are assessments which we have already created. These are stock assessments created by the experts from the industry, and these are available for you to quickly either launch as is, or if you decide to take some questions out of it, you can easily configure, you can easily customize those surveys or survey questions, and then you can launch it to your suppliers as easy as it can get. So some of the examples that you see here, which are already available in our library, is from a capacity assessment capability to cyber, GDPR, hurricane preparedness, to CSR, CTPAT, etc. These are stock surveys which are already available in the library. So you could just select the survey that you're interested to launch, and then you could either decide to customize the question as easy as it can get, or just straight away go with the existing survey or the stock library and launch it to any and all of your suppliers that you're interested to to launch in the system. Next slide. So next, what I want to do is talk about a very recent use case, which I feel is very important, and the survey module could be a game changer in such instances, and quickly give a walkthrough of what this is and how this could really help you as one of the use cases. So towards the end of last year, there was an event watch notice that we had sent that was on the environmental compliance probe that the government of China had initiated towards the companies and regions in the northern provinces of China, and especially this was focused on regions of Hebei, Tianjin, Ningbo, and some of the other regions in the northern provinces of China. And this is a year every year towards the end of the year, September October timeframe. These probes are initiated, and there are a lot of companies in these regions. For instance, in the provinces that I've mentioned, there were companies who focused a lot on manufacturing steel to aluminum, and there were a lot of minerals that were potentially getting affected. For example, bauxite, aluminum, graphite, magnesium. These were potentially affected minerals, and customers in the life sciences, high tech, and automotive space. There were significant impacts or dependencies on these suppliers who are in the region. So, in such instances, when event information is available, what do we usually do? We try to reach out to suppliers, and we try to collect the information and try to quickly, understand what kind of impact does it have on you and your company and your product. And this is what we have as one of the examples. What we did is, if you go to the next slide, we quickly were able to configure an assessment in the system. So it's a four-step process, as easy as it can get, which is selecting either a stock survey from the library. In my case, what we did was we just created a quick questionnaire, a set of 4 to 5 questions that were intended for all the suppliers in the region. So in the resident portal, you can easily select the suppliers from the region that is getting affected. So we got a list of suppliers from the region. We configured the survey. We had a set of 5 questions. The second step was pretty much customizing the assessment itself. So if you go to the next slide, it gives you an idea about what kind of customization we did. So on the left-hand side, this is the survey module view, by the way. On the left-hand side, you can see a toolbox view where you can easily drag in and drop any kind of questions, right from multiple choice questions to radio buttons to asking for attachments to true and false. Any kind of questions that you can think about, you can pull and drop it into this survey builder widget that you see here. And in my case, what I did was I quickly launched 5 questions in this case, and you can also see the Acme, which is a logo that I also inserted just to make the supplier think that this is more authentic, and it is coming from the customer. So in this case, Acme would be the customer who's launching the survey. So I would then set the context of the survey, which is China environmental compliance, give a description of what the compliance assessment is all about. I added the logo of the company in this case, added all the different questions at the bottom, and each and every question you can weigh it as well. So if you have certain questions, if you know that certain questions are more important than the others, you have the ability to weigh each and every question. And there are a lot of validations available. So if you want one question to be mandatory, you have that ability. If you don't want it to be mandatory or make it just optional, you have that ability. So you have a complete open ability to do any kind of, create any kind of assessment. So in my case, I quickly created this assessment. And the fun part of it is, since it was focused on the provinces of China, I wanted to make sure I also added a Chinese or a Mandarin version of the survey. So if you go to the next slide, I was able to quickly convert this assessment into the Mandarin version. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, here you go. So here you can see it was the same survey, so I was able to configure it in English as well as Mandarin. But if you, let's say it was another part of the world that you're going to launch an assessment, you can quickly launch it in Japanese, or let's say Spanish, or any kind of language that you can think about. There are more than 30 plus languages that the system now supports. You can easily configure. And then the ability for the supplier to respond in this language, but at the same time, you could also view it in your language that you're interested to look at. So in this case, you can see the questionnaire now in the Mandarin language. And if you go to the next step, which is now the configuring and launching part. So I created the survey, I customized the questions, I added the weights that is important for me and my organization based on the risk policy that I have. The third step is now the configuring and launching part. So I would select which all suppliers do I want to launch it. In my case, I had a subset of suppliers who had sites or manufacturing sites in the region. So I selected those suppliers. And it is easy as it can. You can just select all the suppliers in this case using the checkbox and say, I want to launch this survey. And the last piece here is, once you launch the survey, if you go to the next slide, you can you start getting the information back, and there are automated dashboards available, which means what the suppliers responded to the survey. You start to see it through the dashboards. You don't have to wait for the system or for Resolink to create a new dashboard for you. Rather, there are automated dashboards. So any kind of surveys that you create on your own, you could start seeing the intelligence, the insights out of it, and you can take actionable insights out of all the assessments that you launch. So in a nutshell, what this example gave you is just a case of, any kind of information, any kind of events that happen out there. You can easily launch an assessment on the fly. You can select. You have complete control over launching, to creating an assessment, to tracking the assessment, the progress, to starting to look at the metrics around, who completed, what are the risks out there. Everything is now completely in your control, and that's what the survey module allows you to do moving forward. So with that said, I just wanted to talk a lot about the pain point and the business benefit. So what we'll do next is we'll hand it over to Dinkar, who will walk you through the details of the functionalities and features. And towards the end, we'll take the questions that you may
have. Hey, thank you, Sandeep, for a great overview. Hello, everyone. So I will be taking over from here, and as Sandeep mentioned, my name is Dinkar Shilar, and I'm a customer success manager with Resolink. From here, I will walk you through all the key features and functionalities from our new survey model. However, before reaching the features and the functionalities, I would also like to inform everyone about our planned improvement releases, which will follow in upcoming weeks. This is mainly to address some of the small features and enhancements which we have identified or required in the new functionality. And the schedule for all these improvements will be pre-communicated to all the customers in advance. Alternatively, your dedicated CSMs will also discuss the details about any improvements in isolation with you. Due to maintenance, there may be some planned downtime which will be pre-communicated to you. However, our event watch function will still work fine, and it should not be affected. So let's just start off with the key features of the new survey model. So as you can see in the slide, as compared to the previous option available in our main menu, we have now made some enhancement to our hamburger menu options. Our previous option for survey tracking, called Track Survey, is now replaced with a more detailed version called Managed Surveys. And Managed Surveys will allow users to access our inbuilt survey designer, which helps you create a new survey based on your own requirement. It will not just help create a new survey, but it will also allow you to update an existing questionnaire or a survey, or even if you wish to change the weightages or points of a survey, you will be able to do that easily. So you can now create a new survey without any limitation, or edit an existing survey template by leveraging from Resolink's wide enhanced survey library that Sandeep just went over in one of the slides. So we will further look into the functionalities and discuss the features more in details in my subsequent slides as well. So moving to this next slide, here we can talk about creating a new survey and see how interactive and user-friendly the functionality can be. We believe creating a new survey can be a drag-and-drop activity and a fairly simple task which anyone can try their hands on. You can get to choose from various type of questions to design or build a kind of survey that you really wish to build without any help from any professional survey designer. So you can choose from various options from our survey builder toolbox that you can see on the left-hand side panel of this screenshot. Just to read out a few options here, you can choose from a simple single input question which can give you a one-liner answer from the partner. You can choose from questions with checkbox for multiple answer selection. You can also choose radio groups or question with drop-down for answer selection. And additionally, if a question requires some comments from partners to be added, or a question that provides rating in a form of answer, all of that will be possible with the new survey toolbox. So we've just kept in mind that there should not be any limitation to user while building a survey that they really wish to build. In the past, we've had suggestions or requests from customers to make certain changes to the survey questions depending upon their requirement, and these changes could be some small edits like adding or removing questions or making a question or a part of a survey mandatory or non-mandatory. Some of the customers have also requested us to rearrange the survey sequences or survey questions, which may sound like an easy task. However, with a previous survey functionality, it wasn't as easy as it sounded, and it did require some efforts. However, all these feedbacks and suggestions that we've received over the period of time from all our customers have really helped us bring in this flexibility to our product, which is something that the customers always wanted to see as well. So now with the new functionality, we give you all the flexibility to make those changes to the survey templates or create the new survey. So for an example, you can now add new questions, remove any questions from Resolink survey template. You can also change the sequences of the question or rearrange survey sections, and also make questions mandatory or non-mandatory. So, with all these features in place, we will always recommend all the users to try their hands on this creative survey tool. And, in case you have any question or queries, or you require any help, or even if you wish to share your feedback, we will definitely encourage you to speak to your dedicated customer success manager. And, we would love to hear your feedback, or we would love to hear about your experience on this new survey tool. Moving to the next one, since we spoke about custom survey library, we will encourage you to leverage from our wide enhanced survey library. We can provide you access to custom survey templates available in our survey library basis your requirement. Since Resolink caters to multiple industry and domain, we understand, a standard survey template may not fit the requirement of every industry or business type. So to ensure customers get maximum benefit from our defined survey library, we will be allowing you the flexibility to edit surveys by cloning them. And if you wish to make changes to the questionnaire or of a standard survey template that Resolink offers and make it more relevant for your organization, you will be easily be able to do that by cloning that survey, which again means that you can amend Resolink created survey template and make the changes that you wish to see in a survey template, and just go ahead and rename or retitle the survey template before you save it in your Resolink portal. So this edited survey will be your new own created fresh survey template available for you to launch at any given point in time. Now, just to also add in a point here, customers may not readily have access to all the custom survey template available in Resolink Survey Library due to licensing concerns. However, we recommend you discussing your requirement with your CSMs, and they will assist you get access to a particular survey that you are interested in and which is also available in our survey library. Now, on the other hand, if you have used any of our custom survey in the past, those survey templates will be readily available for you in your Resolink portal. So you do not have to wait or spend any time to get access to any of your previously used survey templates, and they will be readily available for you. All these surveys will be segregated in two different sections in the Resolink portal when you go to launch survey option from the hamburger menu. And these two different sections would be, as you can see in the screenshot, are called My Library and Resolink Library, wherein My Library section will store all the surveys newly created by you, and Resolink Library will have the Resolink standard or custom surveys, which are also shared with you. Going to the next slide. As we've seen with a survey designer, you can now create or update questionnaires or change weights or points of the survey and create a completely new survey. Additionally, we also believe testing a survey created by you can be an equally important task. And hence, we have provided test survey as an additional feature in the new survey model. So once you have created a survey, before saving a survey or finalizing the survey template or even sending it out to your partner, you can now go ahead and test the survey questionnaire to see if it really works exactly the way you've expected it to be. So this is just a simple step to ensure that the survey is good enough to be sent out. And test survey would simply work as a simulator to experience how the partner is going to see the survey when they receive it. Since we're talking about various features for creating a new survey, and Sandeep has also mentioned a lot about multilingual survey support. We understand that a huge amount of manufacturing partners are based out of Asian countries like China, Japan, and Taiwan, or other Asian countries as well. And we also have a great partner base out of European Union. Uh, these partners do prefer to have business communication in their native language, and we also have several countries which have different business languages than English. So basis all these factors, or considering all these different factors, partners may prefer to have communication in other languages. Now, to help ease out such a requirement, we have included multilingual survey support functionality, which is one of the key and unique feature with our new survey model. In the past, I remember, we've had customers as well as partners requesting surveys in other languages, basis their own preferences. So if I am a survey creator who is looking to send out surveys to a specific set of partners in China or Japan, or from a specific global region, with the help of a survey creator toolbox, I will be able to create copies of my own survey in multiple languages and have the partners choose from their preferred language. With this functionality, while creating a survey, users can create copy of a same survey in as many as 30 plus different languages, as Sandeep earlier mentioned, and have the partner choose from their preferred business language when they start taking the survey. So we believe, this can save a lot of efforts for partners who are more comfortable in their native language than English, and this can improve their experience of answering the survey, which in turn can result in better survey response rate from the partners, and we all can look forward to expect that. So moving to the next slide, so far we spoke about creating a new survey, and in next few slides, I'll be talking about simple steps to configure and launch the survey. So once the desired survey is created, in a few simple steps, you can configure and launch the survey. The launch survey option allows you to choose the survey, configure or personalize the survey email, and then send the survey out to the partner point of contact. On the following slides, we will also see how a couple of options of configuring a survey email can help personalize the survey invite before launching it. So to configure the survey, you can simply choose the survey that you intend to send out and hit the configure and launch button as step 1. Moving to step 2, you can now select if a chosen survey is to be sent out just at a company or a corporate level, or a site level, or both company and site level together. Depending upon the kind of survey you are doing, the survey level preference may change. Like a company level survey may not be very relevant for a site level, or a site level survey may not fit well to go out for a corporate or a company level. We are giving you a complete control over what choice you wish to make and how you wish to send out these surveys. Now, one of the key changes that we have made here is, instead of sending a combined company and a site level survey, which is something that we used to do previously, you can now go ahead and launch surveys separately, that is at a company or at a site level. So now, if you feel you wish to send out a survey only at a site level and do not wish to send a company level survey, you will be able to do that. Now, how this really helps as compared to the previous functionality is, all the survey now will be considered as independent survey. Previously, if you send a company and a site level survey together. For an example, a survey that includes a company or corporate level survey plus 10 sites, until and unless the entire company level survey along with all those 10 site level surveys are not completely filled out by the partner, your survey was still in pending completion. However, now we will ensure that each survey is treated independently, and also the risk scores computed separately for each of the site level and company level survey as they complete. So for an example, even if one site level survey out of these 10 site level surveys which are launched is pending, only that survey will be pending for completion. But but the rest of the remaining surveys which are complete will show you the risk scores as well. And you do not have to wait for partners to respond and complete all the company and site level surveys. So this will ensure overall survey completion percentage increased and improved. So once you've selected the survey to be sent out, you just need to select the start and end date of the survey, the primary requester for the survey from your organization, provided the primary requester is onboarded on the Resilink platform as a user. And how that will help is, if I am a commodity manager dealing with a particular set of partners, my name will reflect in there as a survey requester, which makes the survey invite more relevant or important for the partner that needs an immediate action, at least by the due date stipulated in the email. Thus, we can expect a better response rate from partner, and we certainly feel that this is an immediate improvement that we all will be able to experience as compared to the previous function. Further, configuration of survey email will now also help you to amend our standard survey invite email and its content and make the survey invite more relevant as per your company requirement or your own preferences. Not just that, at times, surveys can be really time consuming or lengthy or even difficult to understand. And, as a best practice, we've always recommended customers to send out pre-survey communication to partners, so the partners are well aware of what to expect in the survey and how to take the survey. Also, partners too have requested us for survey guidelines or user documents which can assist them take the survey. So something like frequently asked questions or just a simple instruction document. So now the option available in the email configuration will allow you to add a URL which can route users or partners to information associated with the survey or information about your company in case they wish to authenticate the survey. And alternatively, you can also have some helpful document attached to go out with the survey invite email as well. So overall, that makes life easier for the partners, reduces effort for them to communicate in case of queries or doubts around the survey, since they have document or something handy to refer to in case of queries. Moving to the next slide and the final stepper in configure and launch survey process, it will be launching the survey post configuration. Once the survey configuration is completed, user can then select all the partners or site or both partners and sites together that they wish to send the surveys out to. And it can be any number of partners or sites, provided you have all of them listed in your CDIF along with the correct contact details. Now, the major and key change here is you will have the option to send each survey, maybe a company or a site level survey, to different partner point of contact. So if a partner has 5 different sites, all those 5 different site surveys can be sent to different partner point of contacts as well, which can again result in achieving a faster survey completion rate. Further, you can just launch a survey and save the changes that you've made. Again, the best part here is even after saving the configuration, making the changes required, you can still go ahead and make further changes to the survey configuration before the survey goes out of the system. That is before the stipulated start date of the survey. So you can still be able to change the start and end date of the survey, terminate the survey if required, and change the primary requester details. So with all such features in place, the system provides you a complete control on your survey project with little or no dependency on Resolink. Now, once the survey is launched, once the required number of surveys are launched, tracking the progress of these surveys will be an important next step. The track survey screen is comparatively a similar looking option that we've seen previously, except that you can get to the tracker with lesser clicks than earlier, making the user experience even better. Also, the survey statuses are changed a little. Like previously, we've had some specific statuses for escalated surveys, which you all might have seen. For an example, escalate no login, which is for surveys wherein partners do not log into the survey portal by the due date, or something like escalate incomplete survey if the partner has started the survey, however, couldn't finish the survey by the due date. So with the new functionality, we have decided to do away with the additional survey statuses, and users will now only be able to see fewer survey statuses like past due, submitted, user terminated, etc., which we feel can be more relevant for all the users. Additionally, the surveys will not be system terminated anymore, even after the due date, until and unless they are terminated by a user manually. So the surveys will remain active for the partners to update. However, the status of the survey will change to past due. And this also means, user receive lesser number of email notification from Resolink system, which makes the system a little less noisier for the survey requester. Alternatively, we will still notify you using the bell icon on your Resolink portal regarding any changes to the survey statuses, so you do not miss out on any notification or any detail regarding the survey. Also, with this recent revamp, we have now removed dependency of having a survey ID associated to every survey that you launch. Instead, you will be able to access all the survey simply with partner name, and you will be able to track all the survey associated with partner by just selecting the name from the tracker. So the very obvious question here is, why no survey IDs? We believe partner providing data in survey should not be siloed with a survey ID in an ongoing system that we've currently built. A data that is provided in one survey needs to be shared explicitly again with a new survey kickoff. And here, Resolink had to maintain all such data that is provided in that survey and need to replicate that in subsequent kickoffs. This now reduces the effort of data duplication across surveys, and surveys will run independently, and they will not be tied to a same survey ID. Since the survey is not tied to an ID, we will be able to, always keep one version of the survey open, and partners can still go ahead and share data at any point in time without waiting for next survey to be kicked off. So this will work like a live data stream, which our system will maintain as we keep receiving data from the partners on an ongoing basis. Next slide up is a collaboration center. As we've spoken about notifications, would also mean that you may want to communicate with the partner in case they have any concern, queries regarding the survey, or the partner is simply not responding to the survey request. So to make the communication between partners, customers, as well as Resolink easier and hassle-free, we've now introduced a three-way chat functionality called a collaboration center. This is to help contact partners using the Resolink portal itself. Currently, if you have to contact a partner point of contact, we have to pick up a phone, or or probably send them an email, which can be time consuming and require efforts. With the collaboration center, if you want to collaborate with the rest of the two parties together, or if a partner simply wishes to contact you or contact Resilink regarding the survey, the communication between all three parties in any way is going to be eased out, simplified, and recorded, which means it saves a lot of time and effort for all three parties. As we can also see in the slide, the messaging can happen in isolation, or you can create a team with partner point of contact and Resilink to discuss regarding the survey with all three parties together in conversation. And overall, we believe the collaboration center feature is a real value add and a key feature that customers can experience with the new survey module. And we're really glad to have such an important functionality out for all our user base. Moving to the visualization, after launching the survey, you can start receiving responses from partners, and we do know surveys can gather a lot of important data or detail in standard format. And it is important to analyze the survey results in a useful manner. And for the same purpose, we have revamped our survey response KPI dashboard to a great extent, making it more stable, keeping more relevant data tables, charts, which customers frequently wish to refer to. The dashboard provides a very important analysis, survey progress, and the tracking of every custom survey that you launch, which is certainly an important part after launching the survey and gathering the required information from the partners via the survey project. As we know, company and site level surveys can now be launched separately. Tracking them separately will also be possible now. So with the help of our dashboard, users can easily get to know the count of company and site level surveys along with its progress on a single view, on a single dashboard. Not just that, risk score generation from surveys will also be possible even even if a survey is incomplete. So now how that works is if a partner has started the survey, however, just completed the survey partially and saved the survey. As soon as they save the survey, our system will start calculating the score basis the partial responses provided by the partner. And as the survey progresses towards completion, the survey risk score will be updated. So users will now be able to track survey and its progress at a very minute level. Since we've also done away with survey IDs, you also may feel that analysis of a risk or trend may not be possible. However, let me also add in here that our dashboard will still provide you information of risk score computed in the system every time a partner submits the survey. So by saying that, along with a common survey tracking dashboard, which can be useful to track or analyze details for all different surveys launched by you, you will also have a different dashboard for each of a different custom survey that you use, and the dashboard will be readily available for you to action once you start this new custom survey. The dashboard will provide you visualization for different data sets. It will provide you an organized view to a great amount of data gathered from surveys in various tables, graphs, and donut charts. It then also helps users to analyze and work on the data even outside Resilink portal by simply extracting this data in Microsoft Excel format. So I think that covers all the key features and major functionalities that we have brought in with the new survey model. And we believe you will find them as exciting as we do, and we will look forward to get a feedback on this new functionality. To go ahead now, we will also cover some key improvements made to our partner portal to enhance partner experience. And for that, I will hand control to one of my colleagues, Tushar, and he will quickly go through the partner portal improvements in next few slides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dinkar. That was quite informative. Hello guys, my name is Tushar and I work as a customer success manager at Resilink. Now let us quickly look at the enhancements we made on the partner portal homepage. As Dinkar rightly mentioned, that along with the customer side enhancements, we have also worked on enhancing the partner experience. For providing the seamless partner experience, we replicated the customer dashboard of track survey screen on partner portal homepage as well. Now, partners can also use the feature of Collaboration Center for effective communication with Resilink and the customers. As you can see in this screenshot, partners can also check the messages by accessing the messaging icon under the Actions tab. They will also be notified on the bell icon when any new message is received, and partners can also add attachments and can see historic call logs for their future reference. In short, we replicated the entire Collaboration Center on Partner Portal homepage too. Users can also request to add a new respondent directly from this newly revamped screen. And with these new enhancements, partner contacts can easily sort the surveys by survey types and customer names. Moving on to the next slide, here in the screenshot, as you can see, all the survey options are given on the left-hand side and the questions on the right. Earlier, partner contact had to scroll down to go to a particular section to access the question. But now, having sections on the left with the questions on the right makes it hassle-free, and partners can easily access any particular section and the questions in that section. We also have the survey progress percentage that you can see on the right hand side of the on the top of the screen. If any question is left unanswered and user somehow clicks submit, then the unanswered question along with the respective section gets highlighted, which makes it easier for the user to go onto that section and that particular question to complete the survey. Next up is the shareability model. This is one of the most widely used feature across all the partners, as this saves a lot of time in providing responses for the surveys. If any partner has more than one BCP site level survey requested by the customers, user can simply check the sites for which the survey needs to be filled and can submit responses for the multiple sites with just one click. As you can see in the screenshot as well, where partner can select multiple sites for providing their responses by just selecting them and then sharing these responses with just one click. This feature definitely saves time in filling the survey and surely positively impacts the survey response rate. And on this final note, this concludes our today's webinar. I sincerely appreciate your attention this morning. Over to you, Sophia, for Q&A session.
Thank you, Tushar. Okay, so this is going to be the beginning of our Q&A session. If you can kindly locate your Q&A chat panel, you can start typing in the questions and we will answer them. So we'll give everyone just a quick moment to locate your chat box. Okay, we do have a question. The first question is, this is regarding the configuring a survey. Can I assign different point of contacts for different types of surveys?
I can take that, Sophia. This is Sandeep. So yes, the answer is yes, absolutely. So if you have multiple different surveys that you're launching within a company for a supplier, for example, let's say it's a cyber survey or it's a business continuity survey, maybe it's different team members who are completing the assessment. So you can easily configure whoever is responsible and the survey would be launched to that person who's responsible and they can complete it easily in the system.
Great, thank you, Sandeep. Okay, here's another question. Can a partner still request an extension to their survey due dates?
Hi Sophia, this is Dinkar. To answer that question, yes, the extension would still be possible. So the partners can still request for extension, and customer point of contact who are dealing with that survey can go ahead and change the due date of the survey. So that way, the survey will be extended.
Thank you. Okay, here's another one. When I create a custom survey, can I require that attachments be mandatory for specific questions?
I think again I can take that one. Yes, the attachments can still be made mandatory, or any question can still be made mandatory or non-mandatory as per customers' requirements.
Okay, and attachments can be made mandatory as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, Sophia, just to chime in to Dinkar's point here. So I think the biggest flexibility is, you can configure any type of questions, as we were talking about, maybe radio buttons or maybe drop downs. You can have an attachment related question, and you can have different kinds of configurations available in the sense, you can make a question mandatory, optional, true, false. So there are a lot of different options available within the system that you can easily select and choose based on each and every question that you have.
Great, thank you, Sandeep. Okay, there's another question. Does the new survey module allow there to be multiple supplier point of contacts for one survey? And will they all receive an invitation to complete the survey? I can answer. The answer is yes. If when you configure a survey, you will have the ability to add multiple respondents, and you would input their email addresses. And once you launch the survey will be sent simultaneously out to all of the respondents, and they will all be considered contributors, so they can add to the survey and upload it. Here's a question. After I launch a survey, when does it actually get sent out?
So yeah, I can answer that, Sophia. So we run a nightly batch every evening. Uh, so if a survey is launched, at 9 p.m. IST, that's Indian Standard Time, the next business day, the survey will be launched. Thus, it provides complete flexibility to customers to cancel the survey or make any changes to the survey configuration as well before that time.
Okay, great. We have time for one more question because it is the top of the hour. So here's a question here. Can I schedule a survey to be launched several days in advance?
Yeah, again, I can take that, Sophia. So the answer is yes. There's a complete control provided to the customers, so they can choose the day that they want to launch the survey, and the system will automatically go ahead and launch the survey on the selected start date. So customers can select the start date multiple days in advance as well, or several days in advance as well.
Great, thank you, Dinkar. Okay, so we are at the top of the hour and we will have to close the webinar soon. If there are any unanswered questions, what we're going to do is we're going to document them and forward them to your CSM so that they can reply to you by the end of business day tomorrow. Then you'll have your answers. Also, before we close out, I wanted to make sure that I take this opportunity to say thank you on behalf of the Resolink team for all of your feedback and support that we've received from our customers, which has contributed to the success of this release. As you may know, this is an exciting time for us, and we're looking forward to the future of survey management using the new survey module. And again, thank you for this opportunity to allow us to deliver this product to you. And if you have any other feedback, feel free to contact your CSM, and we will openly take that feedback. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.